talk about the signs of Kundalini awakening, or the symptoms of Kundalini awakening. There can be physical, mental, and emotional responses to your Kundalini energy switching on. And I get lots of questions about physical, emotional, and mental symptoms. And sometimes what we're talking about is a Kundalini awakening. And one of the most common ones is about a rash. Why do I have this rash or a pain? Why do I have this pain? And so let me explain. The Kundalini energy is life force energy that's coiled at the base of the spine. And as you awaken, it uncoils and it flows up the main channel in the spine. It's life force energy, which is highly transformational. And its purpose is to spiritualize the body, is to help you to become an awakened human. And therefore, as the Kundalini flows through its energy channels, if it meets anything that's out of alignment with you being in that awakened state, then it will be brought up to be transmuted. So if there is a block in the Kundalini channel, what can happen is that that powerful energy starts to spill out and around, and it can cause a kind of inflammatory response or a reaction in the body, such as a rash or a pain in a particular area, which will remain until that Kundalini energy manages to melt away the block and clear the path for it to naturally flow. So what are some of the other symptoms besides a physical pain? And a headache, by the way, is very common because there are energy channels that the Kundalini flows through in the head. Seizures, in some instances, can be caused by a block in the Kundalini energy, which is no reason to say don't go to the doctor if you have a seizure, but that's a metaphysical or spiritual explanation for it. What about some of the emotional responses? Well, if you've got deep buried emotions that you've been ignoring and your Kundalini switches on, then those emotions may come to the surface. So you may feel angry or sad and not be able to explain why. You might pick something in your present time reality to put it on and say, well, I feel like this because of that. But in actual fact, what it can be is something that was stored in your body long ago that the Kundalini is dislodging. So it can make you feel like a lunatic because, it can make you feel paranoid. And that brings me on to the mental responses that can happen, that it can raise your frequency so that you feel blissful and ecstatic. And then when the Kundalini isn't running and you're not feeling like that anymore, you might feel depressed in comparison. Or you might experience the spiritual highs and then also experience what you've stored in your body, which might not be very positive. And so you can have this almost bipolar state as a result of your Kundalini switching on. And again, all of these symptoms alleviate as you allow the Kundalini to do its work of spiritualizing the body and melting the blocks. I guess the problem arises when somebody has this happening, doesn't realize that this is happening, and doesn't have a teacher to help them understand and teach them how to get in control of this process through meditation and being able to consciously control their Kundalini energy and consciously know how to switch it off as well.